Hello, boys and girls. This is another creative writing class. You're welcome. Our topic this morning is to describe a simple process. So we're going to learn how to describe a process today. Let's have fun. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe a process and then draw a picture and describe a simple process. That's, you use an illustration to describe a process. Do you remember our class on captions and labels? We had it last term. In that class, we labeled some pictures and gave them lovely captions. But in this class, we're going to look at pictures and describe them. In this case, we're looking at life cycles. Maybe a life cycle of a frog or butterfly, plants, people, whatever. But we're going to take life cycles and then describe them. But before we go on, let's see what a process is. A process is a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. That's to say, a process is a step-by-step order to achieve a particular purpose. Now let's start by looking at this. What is the process of being enrolled into Benford International School? Yes, first you'll be assessed. That is, you write an assessment exam to know what class you'll be placed in, and then you buy the form, pay fees, and then you'll be placed in a class after you've gotten your uniform. Now that's the process of being admitted into the school. First assessment, then form, fees, uniforms, and then you're placed in the class. That is a complete process. Now in this class, we'll look at the process of growth using pictures to guide us. Let's take the frog for example. Here we have a diagram. It shows us that first the female frog lays eggs. You can see the eggs there. And then the eggs evolves into a tadpole, a tiny tadpole. And then the tadpole develops legs, grows into a young frog, and finally it becomes a frog, an adult matured frog. Okay, so that is the life cycle of a frog. That's the process of getting a frog from the egg stage to the adult stage. Now another example is the butterfly. If we take a butterfly, butterflies evolve from eggs too. Then they become cute little caterpillars, and then a pupa in a cocoon, and finally a matured pretty butterfly. You can see the process there. The eggs are laid on a green leaf, and then it evolves from the eggs to the caterpillar. From the caterpillar, it moves and becomes a pupa inside a cocoon. That's where it stays until it's matured enough to fly out. Then it becomes a butterfly. So living things evolve from one stage to another, including people. Let's take a boy for example. From being a baby, that's from infant stage, he moves to a toddler stage where he's learning to walk, and then from there to the teenager, from a teenager to a young adult, and then finally an adult. So everything evolves from one stage to another. Now for your activity today, I want you to get a life cycle of anything of your choice and describe it beautifully. It could be any plant or animal. You can either draw it or you ask mommy to print one out and then you describe it beautifully. Remember our describing words, right? Okay, so I'll be expecting this on the class dojo later. Have fun and give me feedback. Bye.